Hello beautiful people, once again you are welcome back to my channel Explore with Pascal, and today we are heading straight to the incredible and historic city of York in the North Yorkshire here in the United Kingdom. A place that is absolutely packed with stunning architecture and rich, vibrant history, from the York Minster to the charming shambles. I need to bring to your attention that York remains one of the top destination options for you to consider so far as your summer holidays is concerned. So, having read about the National Railway Museum of York, the York Birds of Prey Center, the Clifford Tower, it was getting interesting, you know what I mean? And so I couldn't stop reading further, and this is what I found: the Wizard Walk of York, the City Cruise, the Ghost Bus Tour, the Chocolate Manufacturing Journey. And for the lovers of movie, I know you will never escape this when you visit York, and that is the original Harry Potter location tour, which takes you to the locations where that movie Harry Potter was filmed, and many more that I found. I said to myself, look, I don't need anything further to get myself convinced, but I had a challenge, and the only challenge I got, with having in mind that with a city pass, which gives me access to over 35 tourist locations, this was really giving me a headache as to figure out where to go and where not to go within that short time that I visited York. But I made some key visits, and here I am ready to share with you. And so I quickly jumped into the next available train to York to explore and to share with you. And finally, here I am at my destination at the city of York. And from the rail station, I moved straight to the River Ouse, which no tourist can miss it when you visit the city of York. Yes, and on River Ouse, this is where activities like water sports, canoeing, kayaking, riverside walks and picnics, and the most of all, the city cruise. Oh my God, I love this. The self-steer boat rent and the city cruise offers sightseeing tour along the river. In fact, this provides a unique perspective of the city, and that's beautiful. Now, after watching the city cruise come and go, I said to myself, no, I have had enough. I need to join the cruise. Yes, I've had enough. I can't keep watching every single cruise come and go. I need to get on board to get a feel of it. Yes, to tell a better story. And so eventually, yeah, I got myself on board. I got on board. Take me along, take me home. So yes, here I am on board, and it was so fun. But any cruise you join after 5, you enjoy a discount of 20% on every single item on board. Yes, you got me right. So if you can wait enough to get on board on after 5 p.m. on every single cruise on River Ouse, 20% discount is there for you to grab for free. That's every single item you get on board. So I joined, and the commentary and everything that came with it was so superb.
Alrighty, now something to mention, as this is our Live After 5 cruise, it does mean everything at the bar is 20% off. So go crazy, but not too crazy, otherwise you will have to be referred to our passenger code of conduct. Okay, so now all the boring stuff's out of the way, I can introduce you guys to the river that we're sailing on. This is, of course, the River Ouse, spelt O-U-S-E.
Right after River Ouse, Clifford Tower was my next destination. But before Clifford Tower, I decided to walk along the city walls. And this wall were originally built in 17 AD as protection for the Fort Castria. and it has more miles of intact wall than any other city in England. And so anytime you get to York, find the city walls and walk around it to have that experience. And finally, at the Clifford Tower, which was initially called the King's Tower. This tower was built in the year 1068 by William the Conqueror, and he did this as a symbol of authority over his region. And this tower served in various purposes, including residence, treasure, and prison. But in the 11th century, something significant happened, which is described as one of the notorious massacre in English history, and that has to do with the murdering of 150 Jews. Yes, you heard me right. 150 Jews in the same building or in this tower. And now this is what happened. In the 11th century, some Jews arrived in the United Kingdom, and New York to be precise, from France. And when they came in, the main activity they were involved in was lending money out with interest, and this made them rich. And so there was this king who was a crusader against this activity of the Jews, and same as the Christians who saw that lending money to people with interest was then a sin. And so there was this kind of disagreement between the Jews community and the Christian community. Now fast forward, King Richard, who was a crusader against the Jews, was coronated, and from the moment he was coronated, there were propaganda and a lot of messages that were sent down to the people that King Richard has ordered the massacre of the Jews. And so this is the point where the Jews felt they are not safe. And so 150 of them who were then in the Clifford Tower decided to take their own lives. And what they did was that the head of each family make sure he executed the wife and the children and killing themselves. And after that, they set the tower ablaze. They set it on fire to burn them and everybody in. The few ones who survived and couldn't take their lives were promised of being baptized or being spared. But even when they came out the next day, they were still killed. And so this has been a history that has to do with the Clifford Tower. But you ask yourself, why was the name changed from the King's Tower to the Clifford Tower? And this is what happened. Roger de Clifford was from Skipton, and so he put up a challenge against the King of England then, who was King Edward II. And so this led to his arrest and his execution. Now, when he was killed, Clifford de Roger was hanged along the chains of the tower. And so from there, people began to call the tower by the name Clifford, and eventually it changed to the name Clifford Tower. Now, nonetheless, Clifford Tower is one of the most visited venues in the city of York. And so anytime you're making a decision to visit York, do not miss the Clifford Tower. It is also called the Eye of York. Why? Because at the top of the tower, you can clearly have a view of the whole of the city. And so that is why it is called the Eye of York. Make a date, put it on your diary, and anytime you visit York, now you know that you have to visit the Clifford Tower. So this is me at the top of the Clifford Tower, seeing nature, reading history, and connecting myself with what I've read before visiting the tower. Oh my God, all too soon my visit is coming to an end. And finally, to the York Minster, which is a magnificent Gothic cathedral, the largest in the UK and one of the finest in Europe. Yes, you heard me right. One of the finest you will ever find in Europe, with rich history stretching back to the 7th century. You heard me right, to the 7th century. Now, if you're visiting the York Minster, there is this that you cannot miss: history, the architecture, the spiritual significance, which means that there is a live church which goes on there every now and then. And so if you are fully connected Christian, you can go there and connect yourself spiritually. I mean, you can go there and worship. Cultural and artistic treasures, community involvement, and above all, security. The Minster has its own dedicated police force and robust security measures to protect visitors and the building itself. And so anytime you're making a point to visit the York Minster, your security is 100% assured. So all too soon, this is my visit to the historic and ancient city York. And like I said, there are several tourist places that I could not explore. You can share with me in the comment section if you've been to York, where you visited, and if you haven't been, where you intend to visit. Like I said, with the city pass, you have access to so many places in the city of York. Thank you for watching. I sincerely appreciate your time spending with me on my channel. All that I ask, if you haven't done so, is to subscribe to my channel, comment, share, and like. Most importantly, keep your notification button on for more contents like this. Thank you for watching once again, and see you in my next video.